Can handle this barrel. Stand still. Heads up, little punk. Do not think about avoiding barrels.
I'll borrow you real quick. Yeah. What? You'll come with me. Two, come with me. No, three. I'll borrow you real quick. You'll come with me. What? Come with me. Become one with the fire.
Hello, looks like I'm live here. I will be commentating this race. So we're already a good chunk into it. We're on chapter 3 here, Subcon Forest. And if you've been paying attention, you might have noticed that we've only done chapter 1. So we're doing this a bit out of order because we have to get an item in this chapter that we can't use for that we have to use for chapter 2. So right now, Hihya's going to be going for the Toilet of Doom Quick Kill. This is a new strat that was found recently. And this involves going to your graphic settings and messing with the environment detail. It's a weird glitch. I think the way it works is that the toilet or something doesn't load in properly and the toilet hits a death plane. I think that's the technicality behind it. It looks like Hihya is in the lead, so allow me to mark that. So yeah, let's see here. I think Hihya's going to be going for Vanessa's Mansion. So in this level, we're going to be doing a skip that skips all of the level pretty much. And it's a really interesting skip, and the story behind it especially. So you'll see Hihya jumping over a bunch of platforms, and that skips having to press the bells, and that spawned those green platforms. And you can do that using a series of sprint double jumps, as well as sprint jumping. So in this chapter, all of the levels are in contracts, but often the runners are going to be deviating from that a little bit. From time to time, you'll see people entering levels from different acts, entering them earlier than intended, really. And you have to get the Toilet of Doom contract because there's no way. If you go over to the area with the toilet, nothing will happen. You have to actually unlock that act. You know, the lead's not as big as I thought. Looks like they're mainly differing in load time. So Hihya finished with a 2026. I think Selfie will be following shortly behind that, if my judgment is correct. And right now, I'm not exactly sure what Hihya's route is. I think you can do stuff a little bit out of order in this chapter. You have a little bit of freedom with that. Looks like he'll be going for the Pipe Rift. Time rifts in this game are levels, mainly movement-based levels that are inspired by Mario Sunshine. If you played that game, you'd definitely know what's going on here. They're very fun and they're often cycle-based. This one especially is very cycle-based. And if you happen to go too slow on this part, you can face time loss later. There's a certain setup that will be coming up in just a few moments with the hook shot. If this gear right here is too low, you won't be able to access that, and you'll have to wait for it to come back up. Yeah, I think yeah, we're good on that. Yeah, pretty clean execution by Hihya there. Looks like Selfie will be going for the toilet quick kill. The new quick kill is... I love that the bosses are finally in 90%, because they have some of the best boss music. Or some of the best music in the entire game. Especially Snatcher. And that fight's coming up in a few moments on Hihya's feed. Snatcher also has a quick kill. It's not as fast as the toilet, but it's still very quick compared to the normal way you would do the fight. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I think they're using slightly different routes, but we can know for sure the difference between the two runners once they exit the chapter. They're using the same strats, but maybe a different route. It's kind of hard to tell because I joined a bit late. So yeah, that was a risky strat. you have the option to press that bell to spawn that platform, and that gives you a safety net if you miss the dive boost on Hihya's feed. But top level runners often don't go for it because it's slightly slower, but it's also more risky if you don't time to jump properly. It looks like, yeah, Hihya will be going for Snatcher right now. All right, I reflected that in the tracker. Thank you for the correction. But yeah, you'll see that he's getting multiple hits on Snatcher there, and that the way that works is that you get right up against him and go slightly to the left. And if you do that, you can, for some reason, you can just hit him. You're not supposed to hit him at all. It doesn't work when you're doing it head-on either. You have to be running on it to the left, kind of. It's hard to explain in words, but it is pretty easy to do. So he's going to be looking for a blue potion, and once he throws that, fight's over pretty much. And after this, he has a little cutscene to watch. It's a really cute cutscene. I'm going to switch over audio to Hihya so you can hear what's going on. It's very, very adorable. And that might be it for subcon for Hihya. I don't know if he's done mail delivery service yet. If he has done it, then he'll probably be moving on to chapter 3. Oh, looks like Sefi's not going for Snatcher. That's an interesting... Sefi did the toilet kill, but not Snatcher. Okay. At least I think... I really hope I just didn't notice. That wouldn't be good for commentary. So yeah, now both runners are going into chapter 2, which is Battle of the Birds. This chapter is a rivalry. I can't talk today. It's between two characters, Conductor and DJ Grooves, and they're trying to make the best movie to get that award 42. So all the acts in this chapter are based off of movie sets, which is really creative, and it allows for some interesting level design. This level right here is a stealth level, and you have to avoid being seen by the penguins and the owls. It is rather easy not to get seen if you do all the correct strats, but that penguin at the end that Sefi just did, that one can notice you super easily and can just destroy you. It's nicknamed the Terminator. So yeah, even though Sefi completed this first act faster than Hihya here, I think because of the route difference, Hihya's still in the lead. Allow me to look up the runners' PBs and I can explain to the chat where these two are at. Hihya's in second place with a 44-14 on the leaderboards, which is unbelievably good. Let me tell you that. Just mind-blowingly good. World record is 43:30 by Fuff, who is also an amazing runner. Now let's see, where's Sefi at? Sefi is in 23rd with a 49:20, which is still very good. That's still a very good time. Sub 50 in this game is definitely a big milestone. It's not an easy time to get. I can say that because I have a 49:28 and I still haven't PB'd. But yeah, it's definitely some good gameplay going on here. And just because Hihya is in front, the match isn't over yet. There's still many areas where things can change here, especially in some of the later levels coming up. So the important thing here is consistency, like always in a tournament race. So in this level, you do skip a lot of it. On Sefi's feed, he just did a skip that allowed him to access the second floor of the train early. And because of that, it's going to break some things. Like that cutscene at the start, he just got teleported back. You can also skip this room by just jumping to the pipe. You would normally have to go around the outside, not getting seen by the crows. And then you just jump on the button here, get that elevator started, and then you can jump down and just go in the door. And if you're familiar with A Hat in Time, you're supposed to get evidence in this part to solve the murder mystery, but you don't get any. And the only option you can convict is Conductor, which ends up working out because every ending in this mission is the correct one. So there's no wrong answer, technically. So he just I can't talk today. He just did a double sprint jump. There's some terminology in this game that you should be aware of. A DSJ is a sprint double jump, and you get that by running off of a ledge, and then a couple frames after, you can get 2 jump inputs, which gives you a bit more height. And then an SCJ is a sprint double jump, and that is performed by letting go of sprint and pressing jump within frames of each other. And that allows you to get a single jump while carrying the speed of your sprint, of a sprint jump, that is. And both of these runners are doing this pretty often, and it's very useful. Very useful tech. So alongside a conductor, we have the grooves. And each of the 2 people have levels themed after them. The grooves levels are all on the moon, while conductor, like last time, is on a train. We'll see another train level coming up. And in this mission, it is our goal to become a diva. We have to become super popular online. So Hihya is grabbing a yarn right now, and you need the yarn to craft hats. In this run, runners will be needing the ice hats and the ice hat, the sprint hat, and the brewing hat. And you can do that by collecting yarn along the way. All the yarn is usually along the way of where we're supposed to go to help save time. There aren't that many cases where you go out of your way to get it, which is pretty nice. So on Sefi's feed here, he's doing a level called Train Rush, and this one is quite a classic because it was featured in the speedrunning build and the beta build of the game, both of which had a very popular speedrunning scene. This level is a straightforward, linear, action-packed adventure where the train has an explosive on it, and you have to get to the front of the train to defuse it. There is a timer in the bottom right-hand corner, but you're never going to have to worry about that in the speedrun. You don't ever get close to it running out. Over on Hihya's feed, he's doing another time rift in the gallery. That one especially was cycle-based. There's also a bit of checkpoint manipulation you can do there, which is pretty cool. So I think Sefi's going for Parade, and Hihya is not. I know Hihya's not because the new route routes out Parade. And the Parade is an auto-scroller level, pretty much. It's 4 minutes long. It's not that exciting. It's an amazing level casually, don't get me wrong, but in a speedrun, it can be kind of boring because you're just sitting around and waiting most of the time. And it also gets rid of levels like the Moon Rift and the fake finale. And that route was just discovered a few days ago, pretty much. I think it must have been like 4 or 5 days ago. Definitely one of the biggest discoveries in the game to date is that new route. I think it saves about a minute, if I remember right. It's a big deal. In addition to the route, Hihya will be doing a purple rift pretty soon. He'll be going back to Mafia Town to get some additional timepieces that could not be collected before. It's a small backtrack, but it is necessary to to be fast. Yeah, and of course, if anyone watching in the chat has questions about what they see, definitely post them. So yeah, he's just going for Train Rush now. We talked about this a little bit earlier. It's a very cool level. One of my favorites in the speedrun. Definitely gives memories of the beta build. A bit more on the history of Hat in Time. The alpha build came out in 2014, and that itself had a small yet fun speedrunning scene. And then the beta came out in 2015. So Hihya went for a skip called Train Skip, and that entails landing on the platform before it falls up, and you can do that part a little bit faster. I wish I can talk about it more, but that's all I really know about it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Hihya's movement's very impressive. Very smooth, very well executed. So Hihya crafted the ice hat during that cutscene. When you craft hats, you have to pause the game and watch a cutscene, but if you do it while the cutscene is playing, you don't really lose any time, which is convenient. So here's that route difference I was talking about earlier. Sefi's going to be going for Big Parade, and Hihya is going back to Mafia Town, wrapping things up, thanks to the route difference. In Big Parade, there is a death warp you can do at the very end that speeds up time, because after this level, you have to do the 2 time rifts in this route. And that saves you from going back to the hub and wasting some time doing that. So here comes the purple rift on Hihya's feed. The purple rifts are different than the normal time rifts because you have to collect golden orbs. I don't know what the official term for it is. And each level is divided into floors. And you have to get a certain amount of gold pawns to progress. And this level was also featured in the speedrunning build last September. This rift is cycle-based, because these guys right here are always moving around. So if you're a little bit slow here, they might be in slightly different positions. Just something to keep in mind. Oh, Hihya barely got that wall climb. But he's still moving on, which is fine. No worries. So in Big Parade, at certain intervals you have to go and press buttons and dials. That part of the level is not an auto-scroller, but the part where you have to wait for a minute definitely is. If that makes any sense, I hope that was clear. So he's just going to be going on to Cheating the Race, which is a level both players will be doing eventually. This level is hard for beginners, usually. It took me a while to learn it. Same with many other people. And that is because it is a level where you sequence break the race. The movements are very tight and there's not a lot of room for error. I don't know, is he gonna go for the forwards way or the back way? There's 2 ways you can do this. See what happens.
Get ready. Go!
Alright, Hihya's going for the back way. It is possible to do this level the forwards way. Oh, that was... Hihya can still make it. It is possible to make it. It's going to be really tough, though. Oh yeah, he has it. That was close. So Hihya has one more time rift to do before the finale of A Hat in Time. This is yet again another time rift, but there is a different, unique part of it, which are the birds here. These birds are very annoying in the way that they can just knock you back if they hit you. The knockback on those birds is just ridiculous. So you want to be away from them as much as you can. And now Hihya's moving on to finale. And over on Sefi's feet, he's setting up for the death warp. Oh, he looks like he got it. That setup looks pretty good. Nice. So you'll see that he got the timepiece, but he died.
Here we go.
And that still counts. So he's just going to go right over to the rift without having to go back to hub. So the main story of the game is that you're on a spaceship trying to fly home, and then a mafia guy knocks at your door and tries to collect toll. And some stuff happens, and then all the timepieces get flung out of the ship. And it's your mission to get them all back. And you meet a girl called Mustache Girl. And over time, she decides to become evil. Rotten with power of the timepieces. So she breaks in, takes them all, smashes it, and reverts time to a time where she is king. I don't think that made any sense, but yeah, Mustache Girl is the antagonist of the game. And Mustache Girl is the final boss. In this game, we do play on the 1.0 version because of this trick right here. You can go through a hole in the wall, and once you do that, you can climb your way up to the ceiling and go right over to the final boss without having to do any of the platforming sections. Some of the platforming sections require an item we don't have, so we have to do it pretty much without altering the route. He's just going for a more complicated version of this where you do slides. This method is very fast, but it's also pretty easy to mess up. Hihya is going for the safe version. Looks like he'll be climbing up. That's a very smart move in a tournament race. Oh, what's going on there? Yeah, the safe slides. That's what Hihya's doing. So now he's at the mustache fight. All there is to do is clip back in bounds. And thankfully, the cutscene trigger extends out of bounds a little bit. Just enough so that we can get back in bounds. It's very convenient. In this phase of the final boss, you can get multiple hits on Mustache Girl. And Hihya's going to be going for that as much as possible. And you can do that simply by spamming the attack button. Hihya got that pretty quickly. And is going to be moving on to the second phase of Mustache Girl. I apologize in advance for the bitrate. There's not much that can be done here. It's just so colorful. So you'll see Hihya using the brewer hat. That's one way to attack Mustache Girl while she's high in the air. Normally you'd have to wait for her attack to complete, so that speeds up things a little bit. The Mafia Ball also helps with the ground attacks. So at this point, Mustache Girl has a shield, and the only way to get rid of it is to throw a cherry. So Snatcher and this cool-looking dude is going to be teaming up and throwing cherries at Hat Kid. This part of the fight is luck-based. Depending on how many cherries you get, that is. The amount can vary, and there's no way to influence it. Usually you'd be seeing runners get 2 to 3 cherries. The lowest you can get is 1, and I think the max you can get is 4. Hihya is now entering the final phase of Mustache Girl. At this point, you have infinite health because everyone in the arena is sacrificing themselves to give their lives to Hat Kid. Because they all want to see Mustache Girl defeated. Oh, it's 5? Okay. 5 cherries, man. That's a lot. That is a lot of cherries. So yeah, this portion is pretty short. It's also very hectic. Mustache Girl is moving very quickly, so you have to be right on your feet. The homing attacks are also very useful here when she flies around. And yeah, that's it. Hihya is about to finish and is officially the winner of this race. Unless Sefi finds a wrong warp to the timepiece right now, Hihya is the winner. We'll see if Hihya wants to come in for an interview. Not sure what's going on with that, but Sefi is on finale now. He's not that far behind. You can't voice? No worries. Congratulations on the win. That was really fun to watch. Yeah, it looks like we couldn't get commentators for the first part of the race. Once I logged on Discord and I saw they're looking for people, I thought I might as well join up. Yeah, high 45. That's a very good time.
Excuse, don't you dare get anywhere near me. I don't think he could.
Is Sefi on PB pace? This pace looks really good. Let me check. I know he had a 49.20. Let's see. 6. He might be able to PB on this. I'm gonna check and see what his finale IL time is. Alright, and his PB had a 6-minute finale. Hey, Hihya. If you're talking, I can't hear you. Yeah, we'll get that figured out. Yeah, 6-minute finale, maybe. It really depends on how well he plays in this part. Might be possible though. Just have to wait and see. Hello. I still can't hear you if you're talking. Time for single apple? Yeah. Dude, that would be so useful for him right now. Ooh, look at that. That was really nice. Really nice double hit there. Ah, this will be a 2 cherry. Come on, 2 cherry. 2. Make it 2, please. Ah, it's a 3 cherry. No. Ah, well. Nothing you can do about this. There's no way to influence this at all. They're cherries. I always consider them to be cherries. You can't either? Okay. Yeah, no worries. Interviews are optional. But yeah, if you want, feel free to, you know, let us know what you thought of your run in the chat. And anything else you'd like to add, if you want, of course. Because I'm interested in knowing what you think. That's what I'm saying, Pulsar. They're not apple bombs. Oh, dude, this is totally a PV. That's a 48, right? Dude, he can totally PV on this. Come on, man, you can do it. Dude, this is it. Look at that 48. Alright. Sefi's about to finish here. Oh. Look at that, sub 49. That's amazing. That is a new PB for Sefi by about 30 seconds. Very well done. Congratulations. No, on speedrun.com he has a 49.20. I'm assuming that's updated. Oh, you have a 47? Yeah, you have a 49 on the leaderboards. Okay. Is that pending? No, it's not pending. Alright, well, my bad. Still, that's still a very good time, sub 49. But yeah, what else? What else should I add before we end the race today? Yes, I should announce what races are coming up. That would be a good idea. So, let's see. At 8 p.m. EDT, we're going to have Flare Bear versus Enhan over on Speed Gaming 3. That's going to be in about 4 hours. 3 hours and 45 minutes from now. So definitely check that out. Flare Bear is pretty cool. So is Enhan. And then on June 14th at 6:30 p.m. EDT will be Pulsar versus me. But yeah, be sure to check out that race later tonight. Let me type this in chat so you can look at the current bracket and schedule for yourselves. This tournament's been very fun, and it's only going to get more fun because, you know, we're getting down to the wire. We got top players against top players, and it's going to be very, very fun and interesting. But yeah, good race today, you two. I had fun watching it, and hopefully everyone in chat did too. That's all I got, so I think I'm gonna end the episode here. Thank you for watching.